Welcome back to Barry Charles Footy Show, your one-stop shop for everything rugby league. Yes, we talk about the previews of games. We do analysis. We talk about the breaking news. We talk about everything on this channel. We even talk about what's the best Kiwi team of all time, the best Origin team, so many different ones, and those will be on my Saturday, Sunday segment. But I do 3 shows a week. We have the preview show, the review show, and then a fun one for you just on different topics from the past. So remember to subscribe to the channel because we want all the bunker decisions to be right this week. You've got to be kidding, Barry. Now, all joking aside, also we want you to kick that like button because we want Anthony Milford to make a better decision with his kicking game and not kick it straight to King Tony Staggs to run 100 metres to get the winning try for you Dolphins fans out there. Let's get off. First off, we'll just talk about a bit of news that's been around the grounds the last couple of days, and then we'll get into the preview show of who is going to win each game. But first off, what can we say about the Roosters? Yes, are they going to sign another player? He's just decided to test the market. Is Jack Wighton heading to the Roosters? Everyone's talking about everyone else. But they're just keeping quiet in the background. And boom, Jack Wighton's a Rooster. A lot of people say, you're kidding me. But I just got a funny feeling that he could be on his way there. And Luke Keary could be on his way out. If not, Sam Walker. And I think they just got question marks over Luke Keary not playing as good as he used to. But he can put that to bed this month. He's got this month, or 2 months, to push, say, forget about it, Keary's back to his best, because it's been a long time since he's been at his top game like he did when he was with Cooper Cronk. He struggled since, he obviously had concussion issues, but that's what he needs to improve on going forward. Yes, let's just have a look at the teams that Jack Wighton could possibly go with. The only other team I can see in Sydney that he would go to would be the Rabbitohs, but if he wants to win a premiership. Simple as this, Roosters or Rabbitohs at the moment are the 2 teams you look for a premiership. Also Penrith, but I doubt that he would go there. And I doubt that he'll go to the Rabbitohs because he'd have to play centre, and that's the same with Penrith. And Parramatta Eels could be an option on what's happening with Clint Gufferson, King Guffo, but would they let him completely go to get him? I think that's the only way they could afford it. So I see Parramatta as unlikely as well. The Tigers, to me, if he wants a money grab, this would be the club he'll go to. And to be honest, I think he would make them a top 8 team, but I think they're just, the way they're playing, they're a bit of a basket case at the moment, the last 10 years, and it hasn't improved this season so far, even with a stronger squad. But if Jack Wighton wanted to push and make something, I think he would actually make them a good team. Premiership force, that would be the question. The Knights are in a similar situation. I can't see that happening either. Obviously, the Dolphins would be a chance, but do you think he's really going to win a premiership there? If he wants to win a premiership, he obviously go to the Brisbane Broncos, but where does he fit into that team? You're going to take Ezra Mam out? He possibly could. Put him on the bench. Yeah, but I wouldn't want to go to any other side in Queensland, to be honest. Cowboys, maybe. Cowboys, but they would be taking away Tommy Dearden. So, unless they want to play him at centre, that could be an option for Jack Wighton. But yeah, I think if he is going to leave Canberra, it would be for the Roosters. Unless he wants to go to rugby, of course, rugby would be another option. Super League as well, if he wants to. But I think he wants to stay because I think he's still trying to push for Origin spots. So why would you leave the game if you still want to play Origin? Yeah, so interesting to see how that develops. And even Luke Keary and Sam Walker, I just got a funny feeling the Roosters are feeling they're not getting the best out of both of those players, and they need someone to be a rock. And Luke Keary has the next month or 2 to prove that he is the man, because we know they've known to move people on if they don't think they're good enough, like Kyle Flanagan. Yes, But what about Joseph Suaali? Phil Gould giving the big rant on this one. Do we think that he should go now, the rugby, and forget about his league career? What are your thoughts? To me, I think that he should go. Personally, I think he should go. He's just, for me, wasting the development of other players in the Origin arena and Australian arena, because he's not going to be there for the next World Cup. So why bother putting him in there? People argue, say if he's good enough, put him in there. I disagree. If he wants to come back and prove himself later, then good on him. Don't just give him the thing so he gets big profile for rugby sense. And my personal opinion, Toho and Adokar should get in front of him in Origin. The only way you could probably see, there are a couple of scenarios if you think that Suaali should be in the team. I could see him playing centre. If you're going to put Tommy Turbo on the wing, that would be one option, or have Suaali coming off the bench as a bit of impact player. That would be my two options. But you've got so many good players like Nico Hines and Uppy Cross and Jack Wighton. I mean, it's a bit of a tough road to get in anyway. I personally wouldn't have him in my 17, but that's just me, and maybe I'm a bit old school. But yes, to me, I wouldn't have Suaali in the team, and definitely not for Australia. But yeah, that'll be the question for them going forward. Suaali for me is not needed in the squad, and I would just say move on now. Getting back to, but to be honest, I think Fittler will probably pick him because he desperately wants to win, and he's going to lead into public noise that he has to be playing. He's got to be in the team, and he'll be in. I think if he does that, it'll be a big mistake, and they'll lose another Origin series, and his career will be over. If he leaves out Adokar again, because he's just outstanding at LA Warner. I just don't understand why he wasn't picked. Yes, so that's going to be interesting to see how that develops. Also in my story, Dominic Young. The Roosters just don't have the money unless they're going to let go of a Lakiri. Then they could possibly have a play for Dominic Young to come early, but they're probably thinking they've got Jackson Paulo doing enough right now, so they don't really need him this minute. But also Crichton could give up some salary cap relief if that happens. Then don't be surprised if Dominic Young comes before mid-season. The only other interested party I feel is the Eels for Dominic Young, but it's only would be a one-year deal, short-term fix, but maybe they just need something like that if they really want to push themselves up to premiership heights again this season, because I don't think they're going to get there with their current squad. Yes. So what I didn't talk about last week was, on the review show, was my picks from last week. So Eels, Storm, cha-ching. Broncos, cha-ching. Cowboys, cha-ching. Rabbitohs, cha-ching. Warriors, cha-ching. The Knights, brr. Sharkies, ka-ching. So 6 out of 8. So that puts me at 20 wins out of 32, so that's not bad. I want to try to keep aiming at 6 out of 8 each week, because we'll see how that goes, because I think this week's going to be, there's a few tough games here, so I'm not necessarily Nostradamus. But let's get to the footy. Let's get to the preview show here. Thursday night footy. First off, we have the Roosters versus the Eels. Roosters looking to say to the competition, we are number 1 this year. And the Eels are trying to prove that last week was no fluke, and we are still a premiership threat. King Guffo should be fired up for this game after talks about his future. The Eels possibly looking to replace him or find an extra player. Sounds crazy to me, but that's what's happening at the moment. For the Roosters, let's have a look at a few stats here. They've won 6 of the last 8 games against the Eels, so that's not a good sign for you Eels fans. The Eels haven't beat the Roosters at this venue since 2008. It's just not looking good at all for you Parramatta fans. Joseph Suaali, put him down to score a try, as he has scored. He scored 4 tries in the last 2 games against the Eels, so look out there. And Mike Acevo has scored 4 out of 4 tries in the last 5 games against the Roosters, so he likes scoring against the Roosters. And obviously Victor Radley is making his 100th appearance today. Today. Good luck to him. But there's no Joey Manu for the Roosters and no Junior Polo for the Eels. This game is an this is an interesting one. To Parramatta, can they get up for this game? My question mark would be Wagga Blake and Bailey Simonson. I think there could be a few points scored on that side of the field. And that's why I have the Roosters to win this by 12 points tonight, with Suaali to score a try. Let's head off to Friday night football, and we have the Raiders pulling. Can they pull off a rabbit out of the hat and get the win without Jack Wighton? This is the one to debate. Although I'm not convinced the Penrith Panthers are world beaters this season, and no Luke Garner or Sony Luke. This game is a real head scratcher for me. Jordan Rapana is back in as a big boost for the Raiders, and Josh Papali'i, extra game, he should be better for the run. Joseph Tapane's been on fire. But yeah, to me, I think the Penrith have the better bench with Peachy coming back in. He'll be very interesting to see how he goes if he bounces back to his career best form. Nathan Cleary obviously doing his dominancy, but Luai, Stephen Crichton, and a few others need to lift their game. They've been disappointing the last few weeks, and they really need to go up another level. To me, I think on this, the Raiders, if they had Jack Wighton, I would be picking them, but without his presence, I think it might be a struggle to get it done. Just looking at a few stats here. The Raiders won 6 of the last 7 at Chio Stadium. So there's a boost for you Raiders fans. It's something they love playing at home. Can they get it done? But on the flip side here, the Panthers have won the last 8 out of 10, or won 8 out of 10 against the Raiders. So there's a flip there. 200 games for Isaiah Yeo. So to me, and on the other side, Tapane having his 150th game as a Raider. So yeah, it's going to be one of the interesting games. But for me, I've got the Penrith just getting it done. I think they'll just get it done. And I'm going to put Crichton in to score a try. And that's my pick for that. Let's go to the next game on Friday Night Football. The Rabbitohs versus the Storm. Yes, I wanted to give you some interesting facts about this game. Storm have won 7 of the last 8 games against the Rabbitohs. Alex Johnson has scored 22 tries in 13 games here at Accor Stadium. Rabbitohs have won 6 of their last 8 games here at Accor Stadium as well. So what does it all mean? One rule will have to be broken. Yes, indeed. Will the Storm continue their winning run, or will the Rabbitohs get it done at home? One of them is going to be broken. That's for you to decide. Let's have a look at the matchups. Latrell Mitchell taking on Nick Meaney. Well, I think Latrell Mitchell wins that on KO. So that's 1 point there. And then you got Johnson and Warbrick. I think Johnson will get it done there. And then you got Graham and Olam. That'll be an interesting game. Cody Walker. Can he continue to step up? That's going to be the question with Lachlan Elliott. That's my worry for you Rabbitohs fans out there, because I think the Pezza and Munster combination is going better at the moment. And so is Grant and Cook. He had a bit of a quiet game. He needs to go up a level, Cook. He needs to run the ball more. But there seems to be a common thread this season that the hookers aren't running as much. So it's interesting. There's more of the backline are doing the running these days. Yeah, it's an interesting one, this game. You could argue the recent form history of these two teams. Rabbitohs are looking better, but the Storm just have the wood on the Rabbitohs. It seems it's just a style of play the Rabbitohs don't handle. But I just got a feeling the Rabbitohs, because it's around Easter time, they're ready to really go boom in this competition. And they need to. If they're going to be premiership threat, they win this game. If they don't, forget about it. So I have the Rabbitohs by 12 points, and I'm going to go for Alex Johnson to score a try. If you're looking at the Origin Arena, I think Cook is under pressure to keep his spot, but to be honest, there's not a lot of players really putting any pressure to put it. Not even Uppy Carousel's not even putting enough pressure on, so he'll probably hold his spot, but he still needs to lift, and he needs to lift for the Blues anyway. Campbell Graham, I think he'll probably need a couple injuries to make the squad, if I'm being completely honest. Keon Kolomatangi, I think he's a chance to make the bench, but whether or not he gets it's a tough gig to try and get into that back line. The back row. Yes, it's going to be interesting. But on the other side, obviously, Munster's a shoe-in. Christian Welsh should be, if he's ready to rock and roll. Xavier Coates. So they've got quite a few decent players in their side. And this is just an interesting game. Both games are very crucial, I think, for both teams. It's not quite a must-win yet, but I think they want to be a real premiership threat. They need to win this game. So I'm not saying it's over for either team if they lose, but I think winning the premiership might get a little bit harder if they lose this game. Now let's go to Saturday afternoon footy. Yes, indeed. This is a guarantee. Laugh out loud. Gamble responsibly out there, guys and girls. I'm expecting Manly to win 13+. So I'm just going to put that out there straight away. I think they're going to put on the clinic in the afternoon footy against a night side that have been gritty, but I think they're going to get hit back to reality this week. But this is rugby league, and anything can happen, as we know. Manly, to reassert themselves as a premiership threat. Lachlan Croker is back. Morgan Harper comes in for Kula, so it's not much of a change there. The Knights only changes Jack Johnson for Kurt Mann, who's out with HIA, and still no Dominic Young. Manly, to me, have too much firepower when you've got Daly Cherry Evans, Tommy Turbo, and Ruben Garrick absolutely flying. Taking on the Knights, who, if they are going to win this game, it's going to be to do it defensively with Russell, Fitzgibbon, and up front Safiti and Thompson need to go hard out. Just tackle hard and run hard. The Knights have been doing that. If they continue that, they're a chance with the likes of Tyson Gamble and Jackson Hastings getting them around the park. But to be honest, this is going to remind me of a bit of revenge, I think, for Manly here. If we go back to 1997, Andrew Johns pulled their pants down with playing the last dying seconds with Darren Albert down the short side to win the grand final against Manly in 1997. Whether or not many of them will remember that game, but I'll tell you what, it was a great finish to a grand final. But yes, for Manly fans, it was not a great day. Josh Schuster. All the talk is about Suaali for Origin. Well, what about Josh Schuster? To me, he's a chance for a bench spot for me. He's obviously got to perform every week, and this is a chance for him to make a standout game for him. I think Talakai's days are numbered. I think there was his only Origin chance, and that'll be it for him. Last season, the Eels won 72 points to 18 around the two games they played against the Knights, so big pressure on the Knights in this one. The two games they played at Mudgee here, Manly put on big scores. But for the positives for the Knights, Gagai plays his 250th game. And Tyson Gamble, if he can reproduce his best form, there's a chance. But I'm going to go Manly by 18 points in this one. I think they're going to be too good. And I'm going to put Cherry Evans to score a try. Let's go to the Dragons versus the Dolphins. Yes. The second game on Saturday Night Football. I think this might be the ugliest game of the round. With Griffin seemingly staying put for now, but surely he won't be there all season. Against the problems with Sean O'Sullivan being out for 3 to 4 months. And relying on Milford at halfback. That's very concerning for you Dolphins fans. But can Wayne Bennett get the best out of them? We'll find out. Obviously, Tessie New is out. Gives Jack Bostick his first game debut against his former junior club. Yes, if we look at the Dragons, a bit of history. They have won the last 5 games at Jubilee. Fedora scored 5 tries in the 4 games this year. Bromwich is having his 300th game. There's a little bit of banter with Moses Suluihi, not good for the Dragons, that he didn't really want to join the Dragons, but went there pretty much for money. He didn't say that, but that's pretty much what he's meaning. If I was the club, I would instantly drop him and say, see you later, mate, out the door. But I don't think Griffin's got that gumption in him. But that's what he should do. So I think Griffin is ready to walk the plank. Yes, he will be walking the plank anytime soon. Yes, I think this could break the Camels' back. Well, I can see this being a close game. It could really go either way. I am just going for the Dolphins on current form, but that doesn't mean the Dragons can't win, because they have been playing well for periods. I have so no real conviction on this game, but I just think Bennett will get them up for a milestone match, the 300th game for Jesse Bromwich. Yes, but obviously Sean O'Sullivan is a huge blow. Milford, can he get the job done? That's going to be obviously the big question going into this game. Let's go to the Broncos. Yes, the last game on Saturday Night Football. Yes, this game I think is going to be another game that I think is going to be an easy win for the Broncos. I'm going to go 18 plus. I think it's going to be a big blowout this game. The Tigers, the cellar dwellers. Let's talk to Mitchell Pearce. They're looking at getting Mitchell Pearce. Are you kidding me? Just going for 1-0 to hero. Well, not 0 to hero, 0 to 0. But you never know. We might have a little bit of experience, but I think he's over the hill, to be honest, if that is where they're going. Luke Brooks, I'm pretty sure this is going to be his last game. I think if they get a hiding here, I think they will say enough is enough and drop him. On paper, Tigers could be a top 8 team, but this certainly not where they are at the moment, looking like a wooden spoon team. But Coruscant just hasn't gelled with his halves. I don't know if it's his problem or halves problem. You could argue it would be the halves problem, but Coruscant's got to have something to do with that as well. Because if you look at Clemmer, Stefano, Papali'i, Bateman, you got these guys in your team in the forward pack and you're running last. It's craziness. Yes, so, but the Broncos, to me, they are looking to continue this statement as being a top team, premiership threat. And if you look at their team, they got Handpass and Patrick Carron just leading the way in the forward pack. And then you have Anna Reynolds, the controller. And then it's all the flashy players like Reece Walsh, Sharon Colbert, Israel Mam, and more. Do their thing, Katoni Staggs, Herbie Wildford. They're absolutely carving them up at the moment. They look like a top 4 team. If they want to be the top team, it's up to Billy Walters and Corey Pakes to go to another level. And I have seen Billy Walters play a little bit better last week. He's going to have to continue to really rise up there. And he probably can. He's got family credentials enough to say he can perform in the big moments. So we will see how that one goes. The start of the season, they're looking for 5 wins for the first time since 1998. So good times ahead for the Broncos if they can get that done. Adam Dewey has scored 6 tries at Suncorp in the last 6 games. The interesting one, the Tigers have won the last 4 games against the Broncos. It's a bit of a bogey team here for the Broncos. Can the bogey team get up? They certainly can, but I'm going to say the Broncos will get it done. Let's go to Sunday afternoon footy with potentially the game of the round. The Sharks taking on the mighty Vodafone. No, not Vodafone anymore. The One Warriors. This is a test for both teams to see where they're really at. Sharks have been patchy in their defence. Warriors have been excellent in defence every game this season, but maybe need a bit more improvement in their attack. This is going to really make it who is really looking like a premiership team. Both of them maybe not quite at that level yet, but they need to work their way up to be a premiership team. So this is where they got to deliver. My concerns for the Warriors, it comes with the injury to the head knock to T. Marty Martins. He's Volkman come in, and that means a lot of pressure on Sean Johnson to do his thing. And his history has said that he doesn't deliver every week, so let's hope he proves me wrong. Question marks here for the Warriors in the last 16 games here. At the stadium, they've only won 5. So they're going to need a 10 out of 10 performance here, the Warriors, to get this one done. If we look on the other side, Nico Hines is absolutely outstanding in his first game back this season. And surely an Origin call-up is coming this season. Jerome Luai's got some pressure to hold his spot. My word from the Warriors is Tohu Harris will miss this game. But you never know, he might just pull out and play injured. But I think for him it would be best to rest. And Josh Curran will just come straight into the squad. This on paper, to me, the concern is the halves for the Warriors. They need to step up again. So I am going to go for the Sharkies by 12 points in this one, just on the back of Nico Hines, and I think they love to play good footy here. I've got Katoa to score a try. The Sharks have really got a big thing on the Warriors here. 10 wins in the last 12 games. So it's looking all Sharkies here, folks. Warriors obviously are a different team this year and will make it an interesting game, and hopefully they can get the win, but I have to just go on recent history. The Warriors haven't won here in 7 years, so there's a lot of things going against them. And Dale Finucane hasn't lost to the Warriors in 11 games. Well, 11 games streak, so he's not going to make it 12. Rules are meant to be broken, but yes, I'm hoping the Warriors win, and if they can win, then I will start saying they're a premiership threat. The final game of the round here is the Bulldogs taking on the Cowboys, and this is another game. So there's quite a few games that are 50-50 to me. Cowboys season, is it on the rails? Is it on the skids? I think so. I'm taking an upset in this one. I think you will see the Bulldogs get it done. Matt Burton is in great form. He needs some help from Kyle Flanagan, that's for sure. Adokar's back to his best. Carras is playing out of his skin. He's playing very good football. Pesam at the back's playing well. Max King was outstanding. But I think Kikau and Mahoney need to go up a level. I feel they need to lift, and Serraldo will have them fired up for this game, I believe, and after just losing. And with your favourite player coming back for most Bulldogs fans, Josh Reynolds will make his return. There's a written in the stars they get doing. And the problem I have for the Cowboys is Scott Drinkwater is going to be out for a while. If they got the creativity there, Chester, to me, I'm not sure if he runs good meters, but whether he can do enough in the attack. And they're also missing Nanai and Tomo this week. And also Ruben Cotter's still injured. So this could be an interesting one for the Cowboys. I'm looking at the Bulldogs. They won 3 of the last 4 here at Accor Stadium. But the Cowboys do have the wood. Won 4 of the last 5 against the Bulldogs. But I think this is a different Bulldogs team this year. Addis Carr scored 19 tries from 14 games at this venue. So put me down for Addis Carr to score the try. And I think it's going to be an easy win for the... Well, not easy win, but a 7-point win for the Bulldogs for me in that one. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show, the preview show, round 5 of the greatest game of all rugby league. Remember to subscribe the button and smash the like button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the next video. Take care.